It's Kearney's Hot Seat. Today in the hot seat, Scott Middleton from Kearney Trust Company, Dr. David Hahn from NKC Health, and Shane Goodin from Bull Run Roofing. And now here's the hosts of Kearney's Hot Seat, Jim Dickerson and Stacy Bratcher.
Hey, hello and welcome to Kearney's Hot Seat. I'm Jim Dickerson along with Stacy Bratcher, and this is our first show of the 2026 season. And wouldn't you know it, it's just the two of us because Nick is gone.
There's no one sitting there.
Now,
Where's Nick?
I'd like to be able to tell you that he forgot and didn't show up.
Or he's dealing with one of his 100 children.
Yeah, I'd love. He has 100 children.
Oh, something 6 or 8, 7.
But so he's got like a basketball team
He
with
does.
spares.
Oh, nice.
All right, excellent. But before we go anywhere else, let's say hello once again to Brian Watts.
Woo-hoo!
Brian, welcome into the new year.
There he is.
Thanks, guys.
What did you do over New Year's?
What didn't I do over New Year's?
Oh, do tell.
No, I didn't do
Oh.
anything
Oh.
over New Year's. Sorry to disappoint you.
Got excited.
Did you actually? Were you up at New Year's?
Yes.
Were you up, Stacy?
I was.
I wasn't.
Oh, but you're old.
I was. I was in bed in a hotel, no less. Anyway, so a couple of things have happened since our last show. Obviously, we did one towards, or I think it was first part of
Before
December.
Christmas, yeah.
And then we had Christmas and New Year's, but we also had some very important things. If you live under a rock and did not know, the Kearney Bulldogs won the state championship in football, undefeated season. And moreover, if you think about it, the seniors that were on that team only lost 4 games in their entire
Career?
career,
High school career? Wow.
under the what would be kind of wrapping up the first 4 years of that Coach Minnick era.
Wow.
So what a
That's
turnaround.
incredible.
Congratulations to them. And then so far, Kelly Gentry, who of course is part of the Bulldog broadcast radio, the Bulldog radio network and the broadcast team on the football, does basketball, but he also led a basketball team to a championship. Kearney is just full of champions.
They are.
All the way around.
That's right. Bulldogs
So,
are amazing.
You got all that going for you. So let's talk a little bit more about Coach Minnick. For those of you who don't know, Coach Minnick is involved with the Precision Health and Wellness group.
Athletics.
What did I say? It's Precision Athletics and Wellness.
Yes.
Is it a group? Is that how we say that? Facility. But I tell you what, we got a little video clip. Let's look at the video clip and we'll talk about it a little more.
Okay.
But Coach Minnick's involved in this really cool thing. Take a look at this.
All right, guys, so excited. You know, you saw the previous video a few months ago. Now she's finished. I'm so excited to show it to you. Come on in and see it. As you see here, this is our main lobby, as we also call the dugout here. It's going to be a great spot for parents to drop their athletes off. Enjoy. Maybe you want to watch your favorite Netflix series while your kid's getting after it in there, whatever it is. We've got beverages. We'll have a snack cart in here as well. Just a place for you to come in, feel comfortable, and enjoy your time while your athlete's in there getting after it. All right, and then so excited about our new gym space. We put in a floor very specific for indoor pickleball. We know we have a huge pickleball following here at Kearney, so we wanted to make sure to bring that to you. We offer 4 pickleball courts in here, and obviously you can see along with it, we have volleyball going right now with our very nice nets that retract down from the ceiling. So no worried about ever having to come in and set those things up. We've got them here. We've got our goals that move up and down. As you can see, we've got some young athletes enjoying their time in here right now. Just an unbelievable space for, you know, and if you're a member, you can come in here at any time and use these spaces as long as the court's not reserved during those hours. But again, what a brand new, unbelievable facility. Bring you back to my favorite part of the gym, our indoor turf. Unbelievable new technology turf here. But so excited for it. And again, we're going to run our youth speed and agility and strength training in here. So excited for all the things we have in here to offer. Just wanted to show you guys a little bit. We've got 8 of our push-pull sleds that also come with the straps, so we can do some resistance training with those. We've got boxes all the way up to 36 inches, so we're excited about those. Tons of our mini hurdles. Something I'm really excited about, something you guys know We're very excited about our strength programs here in Kearney. We've bought some of these new, they're 5-pound barbells. So we really want to teach the fundamentals of lifting with our young kids, but we definitely don't want to get them hurt or overtrain them. So we've got these 5-pound bars where they can learn the fundamentals of weight training. We've also got our bands and bungees and resistance bands in all different levels there. And then we've got cones. And again, look at the unbelievable weight system. We've got med balls. We've got exercise balls, any free weights you would need to come in here and have a great time.
What I would say is that is a very impressive facility.
Absolutely. I am a card-carrying member of Gen X, and all I could think through that is, we're going to pump you up.
Well, I do like the way the whole time he's like, well, your kids are in there getting after it.
I know, I kept thinking, get after what?
Yeah, so they, in case you didn't know, they have all kinds of different memberships you can get involved in. You can get your kids in it. They have pickleball. They have everything. And then the courts, you kind of saw it in the video, but the courts are all interchangeable.
Yes.
So the volleyball net goes up. You don't have to set it
Yes.
up. The basketball goals come down.
That's
It's a
amazing.
really well thought out facility. So
State-of-the-art.
make sure you get over there. I know they're having an open house tonight. It starts at 4, and I think it goes to 7, and I think it's open to the public, is it not? It is. Brian is telling me that.
Hopefully we can get them to do a ribbon cutting with the chamber.
I think they should do that. So somebody needs to make a call and call over to the chamber and get a ribbon cutting going. But a Kearney icon made a major announcement last month, and we'll tell you all about it, because stay tuned. Kearney's Hot Seat. We'll be right back.
Explore a place to visit. Explore knowledge. Explore fun. Explore relaxation. Explore adventure. Explore a hometown. Explore Kearney, Missouri.
And welcome back to Kearney's Hot Seat. Kearney Trust Company has been around since 1882, but recently they announced they will be merging with another bank. Here to tell us more is Kearney Trust President and CEO, Scott Middleton. Scott, welcome to the Hot Seat. I know there are a lot of people that are talking about this, so let's just jump right into it. What's going on?
Yeah, thanks for having me. We recently announced that we're merging with H&B National Bank out of Hannibal, Missouri.
All right, and so what I guess the big question a lot of people have is what brought this about? What do we have to look forward to? What kind of changes are we going to see? What can we expect to happen?
Sure.
Gosh, that's
yeah.
a lot of questions.
Well, I want to get it all
Get
out.
it all,
Get it
okay.
on
Yeah.
the table.
Go,
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah. So Kearney Trust Company is a family-owned bank owned by the Doss family, and Keith Doss is having some health challenges, and so he felt like he was at a position that he needed to get something done with the ownership of the bank. So he wanted to make sure that we transitioned to a new company that supported our same community values, and so by doing this now, he could kind of control how that happened. So that's why we're doing it now. Our plan basically was to try this and see if we found a good partner, and if we did, we would go through with it, and if we didn't find a good partner, we could just stop and try it again later.
So you were in control the whole time.
Correct.
Yeah, I like that.
And it seems like to me that you're going to keep the same traditional kind of community values. You're not going to be a Bank of America or some huge conglomerate. You're going to actually still stay focused on the Kearney area.
Yeah, that's it. And it was really, Keith keeps referring to it as a unicorn, but we found a community bank that was willing to buy us. And most of the other banks that were looking at us were significantly larger, multi-billion-dollar institutions. A lot of them were funded by private equity firms. And the goal was to grow and continue to grow and then resell again. And that's really not what we were looking for. We wanted to find somebody, if possible, that was also a community bank. And H&B, they operate in northern Missouri, a lot of small towns in rural Missouri, and they just seemed like a very good cultural fit for us. And they have a track record of purchasing institutions and then keeping the staff in place, keeping the customers and the processes. So we felt like this would be the least disruptive transition, and then hopefully position us for growth and new opportunities going forward.
Right, because with this new merger, it actually grows, in essence, Kearney Trust Company, although the name will be changing,
Sure.
which allows you to offer more services to the customer. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, thank you. They're a larger institution than we are, so they have greater lending capacity than we do. It doesn't happen often, but we do have some customers that as they grow, they will outgrow us, and then they have to find a bigger bank to do business with. They have larger limits so that we can keep more of those people with us longer, which we're excited about that. But they also offer different products and services. We've never been able to do a 30-year fixed home loan, but a traditional conventional mortgage. Those have to be sold into the secondary market, and you've kind of got to be of a certain size to be able to do that. So people will be able to get home loans with us now, and we'll service those loans, so you'll deal just with us, which we're excited about that. They've also got some farmer programs that we've never been involved with, and then they offer brokerage services and trust services as well. So they're going to bring a little more to the table, and then just having that larger kind of long-term stability. That's a big thing for us.
Yeah.
So what's our transition period? How long are we looking at that? And then what can the customers expect to see through that?
Sure. So the timeline is a little uncertain at this point. The first thing that has to happen is they have to get regulatory approval. So they've applied through the OCC, and the government typically takes 60 to 90 days to turn that around, but there's no real guarantee. So once that happens, then we'll schedule a closing. So it's kind of like if you're buying a house, we're waiting for the appraisal to come back.
Right.
And we're all just kind of sitting around waiting right now. Once the approval happens, then we'll sprint into high gear again and start getting that closing scheduled. The closing will be kind of odd though. All we're going to do is transition our staff. So we'll all become H&B employees. We'll get enrolled in their payroll systems, their benefits, their retirement plans, all that.
But you're keeping all my favorite tellers and loan officers.
Yes, nobody's leaving except for the Doss family. Keith and his 2 kids work for the bank, and they will not work for the bank any longer. But everyone else is welcome to stay, and I've not heard of anybody that's choosing to leave at this point. So that should all be pretty seamless. But once we get the folks transitioned, then we're going to start scheduling the banking products and services. So they use like a different software system, so we'll need to deconvert from our services into theirs. That's going to be a process, but we're planning on not doing that immediately. We'll be able to schedule that and plan it and make it as seamless as possible.
Great.
So I don't have definitive timelines on that yet.
People all over like, ah.
Yeah.
But I heard timeline-wise that we probably won't see a name change on the outside of the building until maybe the fall-ish or something.
That would be my expectation. I don't think they have ordered anything to be changed, and I certainly haven't either.
Okay.
But once this happens, that will be one of the things we have to do is contact the sign company and start getting that changed over. But I suspect the fall is probably a pretty good estimate.
So Kearney Trust has always been extremely supportive and active of different community programs, organizations. I know your staff sit on several boards across our community. You sponsor several programs and activities. Is any of that going to change?
We don't anticipate any changes with that either.
Good.
That's one of the things that attracted H&B to us is our strong community involvement. And so they're adamant that they don't want those things to change. They want to be able to come into town and be well respected as well. So they don't want us cutting any of that stuff in the beginning. going forward, there might be some pet projects that change, but we don't have any anticipation of that. So I think that will all remain pretty much unchanged.
Good. I think that's smart.
And just to add on that, you talked about some of the upper end things you'd be able to do, the home loans and that. What about, will there be any changes on the day-to-day things, the day-to-day checking, day-to-day credit cards, debit cards, car loans, or whatever that
Do I still get
people
the
have?
Bulldog
Yeah.
image on my debit card?
Yes, we will still continue the Bulldog debit card. No, I don't anticipate any changes with that. That, again, was part of what attracted us to them, is most of the other organizations that were looking at us, they manage the bank from the corporate headquarters, and then we all just go along with what they say. And that's not what they're wanting to do. Their attitude is that we're from Kearney, we know these customers, we know what they're capable of. And so we talked about just how are we handling overdrawn checking accounts, and they basically don't want to get involved with that. So we'll still process people's checks and deposits the same way we have. We'll be making those decisions locally still.
Well, I'm glad to
That's
see
great.
that I personally came into your discussion of overdrawn checking accounts. Interesting you'd bring me up like that.
Goodness.
So I guess just to kind of to bring this all together, if you are a current client, just hang on. There's no reason to do anything right now. Don't panic. Don't need to do anything.
Yes, my advice would be to not make any changes right now. And what I'm asking our customers to do, and our staff as well, is to just give us a chance. Let us show you that we're still the bank you depend on, that we can bring the services to you. And if we can't deliver on that, then by all means, there's other options out there. But I truly believe that if folks will give us a chance, we'll prove that we're definitely the bank of choice.
Okay. If
Excellent.
anyone has any question and they can't hold it, they just can't wait, who do they need to get a hold of?
Any of us at the bank. Just call into the bank, come in and see us. Anybody's welcome to speak with me, but the tellers know what I know. The
Wow.
new accounts reps know. I mean, we're an open book as far as what's going on. When we were going through the bidding process, this had to be secret, but as soon as it got announced, we laid all the cards on the table. So they know what I know, so they can talk to me if they want to, but they don't have to.
All right. Very good. Well, thanks for coming in. Keep us updated.
Sure.
Let us
Yeah.
know as the process goes through, and then we'll make sure everybody knows who is involved with the bank.
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't forget that February is National Health Month, and we'll have some tips to keep your heart in shape. Stay with us, and we'll get into that on Kearney's Hot Seat.
Kearney Trust Company is your local bank offering personalized financial services with a focus on what matters to you. From checking and savings accounts to home loans and retirement planning, they're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Kearney Trust Company is a partner for success with 2 locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. 816-628-6666 or kearneytrust.com. Kearney Trust Company, banking you can trust, member FDIC.
Platte Clay Electric Cooperative is more than just your energy provider. They're your neighbors, too. For over 85 years, they've been powering homes, businesses, and communities in the Northland with reliable, affordable electricity. As a cooperative, they're owned by you, the members. That means every decision they make is focused on serving your needs, not profits. From maintaining safe and efficient power lines to offering energy-saving tips, they're here to support you every step of the way. Platte Clay Electric Cooperative, empowering communities and energizing life with safe and reliable energy.
The air you breathe inside your home plays a critical role in your overall health and wellness. Harmful contaminants like asbestos, lead, and mold or hidden hazards that can be lurking in your home or office. Since 2013, the indoor air quality experts at EcoSafe Environmental Services have been detecting and eliminating harmful contaminants, improving indoor air quality, and creating safe, healthy living spaces. You can learn more at 816-598-4111 or at ecosafekc.com. You deserve a healthy home. Stay safe with EcoSafe.
And welcome back to Kearney's Hot Seat. February is National Heart Health Month, and Dr. David Hahn is from NKC Health, and he's here to talk about keeping your heart healthy. Welcome to the show, Dr. Hahn.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
So I guess to get everybody started, give us a little background about yourself, and then what it is that you do and what you're focusing on during Heart Health Month.
Thanks for that. I'm a cardiologist, work at North Kansas City Health, and have for a little over 20 years, since 2005. I consider myself a general cardiologist, but I've also treated heart attack patients and congestive heart failure patients, among many other things. But generally speaking, we deal with treating heart disease, but also doing our best to prevent heart disease from occurring in the first place.
So I guess there is a lot of talk, and we talk about this every year. Usually coming out of New Year's, because everybody has their New Year's resolution. I'm going to go to the gym, and then they go 3 times and never see it again. Yep. But so everything we do, it seems like, as it relates to health, does come back to your heart health. Because if you were talking about losing weight, watching your blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever the case may be, it all centers around heart health. So what are some of the things that we always tell people, watch your weight, do all these things, but what are some basic things that people can start doing today to make sure that their heart stays healthy on down the line?
Sure. Heart disease and strokes together are the #1 cause of mortality in the United States, so that's why it's a topic of conversation quite a bit. I generally start with what we call lifestyle modifications or lifestyle management strategies. And there's a few things we know that are really bad for us, specifically for cardiovascular disease, blood pressure, blood sugar, cholesterol, things like that. So if I see somebody that doesn't yet have heart disease but may have a risk factor, or we're meeting for the first time, I generally go through strategies to reduce their future risk. So we really want to reduce risk of cardiovascular events. And the things that have been shown to do that the best, generally speaking, that a person is in charge of is, first and foremost, I'd like them to be active, physically active. So if they do nothing, I only ask them to walk if they can. If mobility issues are a concern, there are other things like seated exercises or swimming pool-based exercises.
It's not a prescription to go to the gym. It's just a prescription to start getting up.
Our bodies are supposed to move, yes.
I was going to say, just do something.
Right.
Yep. Yep. And people work and people move and so forth. And when there are jobs that are physical, construction or farming or whatever, then I call it intentional exercise. So 30 minutes of dedicated something, and it can be just walking or whatever is enjoyable. Something like any habit. It's if you enjoy it, you'll stick to it better. Right. So people play pickleball a lot. People play golf. People play basketball and things like that. So any of that stuff counts. That's kind of the first place we go, is to start moving, and then I like to give a personal anecdote, in that for me to exercise or find time for that in my day, I have to do it in the morning before work. Otherwise, I will not do it, because I know I'll be tired at the end of the day, or kid stuff will take over, or family stuff, or other obligations. So getting up just a little earlier in the day and knocking it out first thing in the morning before the day starts, essentially. So
sometimes it's hard to avoid that magnetic draw of the couch and the TV.
Yes, it's
why would you bring me into this conversation?
Yeah, and all these, the common root is habits, and it's just, it's like a habit that needs to start, being part of the daily routine, basically. Right. So generally, after we've talked about that and so forth, then the next major thing is food and nutrition. I don't like to use the word diet, but food choices and thinking of food as fuel for our body rather than, rewards and things like that. So how is this food that we're consuming, how is it going to help us in the long run, or hurt us and then avoid that, obviously. So
as you're going through this, and I want you to keep going, what's one of the worst food items that you would say we need to cut out?
I'm nervous. It's probably going to be my favorite thing. But
I lead generally with processing, what they call highly processed or ultra processed foods. Okay. And, I generally offer alternatives, for vegetables, fresh or frozen vegetables versus canned or, seasoned or flavored or salted stuff, anything you're going to have to open a package or read a label or open a can. Prepared meals are very common, very easy, but probably not super nutritious. Right. Kind of getting back to basic, earth-given food that humans haven't messed up too much.
I've never been a fan of the prepackaged meal. I know that a lot of people are getting into that, and maybe it reminds me of the days of a TV dinner. Those Swansons were good, but that was 60 years ago or whatever it was.
I refer to them as TV dinners, but I don't think that's a thing.
They're in a fancier container now, and they have this fancy advertising, but I've never. Yeah. I do prefer the something fresh that I just made, not something that I got out of a package. Yeah. So we don't even buy that stuff anymore.
Yeah, we don't anymore either. It was easy with the children, but now.
Yeah, the advertising's tricky because what the front says and what the label says are kind of sometimes two different things.
Well, in some of these places, I don't do it anymore, but they'll bring you out 9 loaves of bread, which is a beautiful thing, but the problem is by the time you eat that, you're not hungry, but yet you force yourself to do it because you just paid $737 to get it to come out. I guess one of the bigger things too, I think a lot of people have trouble with is sticking with it. It's easy to say, that's why we have this big rush to the, I'd love to be the gym sales guy in January. Right. I would not want to be there in March because everybody's left. Yeah. What is a good way to, I think you hit on it a little bit, but what's a good way to get it into your program? That's what I do, and then stick with it for more, because a lot of these health changes, you're not going to see it. And I guess that's another thing, as I've just interrupted myself, but a lot of people, if they see something on the scale, you're not going to go down 20 pounds in a week. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, if we're talking about general health and weight loss and nutrition and exercise and that's I call it the long game. We play the long game. So setting goals, I think, like anything, if you have a goal, if you have something on the calendar, it's a good place to start. So to kind of get the frame of mind appropriate. Coming up with an action plan, I think, is a good next step. This is my plan for achieving these goals. And then it's time and consistency. Stepping on a scale, even behaving well for a week or 2 weeks, it's hard to do. And then you look at the end of the week and it's like, well, the number hasn't moved, or maybe it's up a pound or something. And it's very frustrating and discouraging sometimes. So I kind of frame that as these are 3-month goals, 6-month goals, 12-month goals, and think of it that way. And then, again, back to habits, I think starting small, picking a thing to change. I'm going to make a sandwich with 1 piece of bread instead of 2. I'm going to eat a Greek yogurt with berries in breakfast instead of, bacon and 3-egg omelet.
Well, now hang on just a second. You don't take away my bacon.
As an example, swapping something a little cleaner, a little less calorie dense for something that maybe we're used to, or not going to the gas station for the breakfast or the 800 calorie meal. packing your lunch instead. So things like a food diary, meal planning, you know, prepping for a week at a time, where you make a bunch of chicken breasts and just kind of pull them out throughout the week, and that kind of stuff kind of helps. Just you know, the first step of a marathon is the very first step. So you're just kind of starting small, making goals, and then sticking to it. I also offer that long-term health as like your retirement financial account. It's a little bit at a time, and over time it builds up, and people make that investment in their health. And oftentimes, if I see a 50-year-old, I'm saying, how do you want your health to look when you're 60 or 70 and you're hanging out with your grandkids and trying to, you know, take a nice vacation or something like that? You still want to be mobile, you want to have decent health and things like that. So that's how I frame it with my patients is you know, take inventory of what's happening, offer some things that maybe are easy to change on a small scale, and then give it time and be consistent. And it, you know, it's the best I can do to offer advice, but it's it is hard to stick to, but again, it's a habit. It's,
and so one thing in the list of the essential 8 that you have, one of them is to quit tobacco. And I know a lot of people have switched from tobacco to vaping, which my personal opinion, which probably doesn't matter, I don't think you're really accomplishing any. What are we saying about that, going from one to the other?
It's the nicotine that's still in the vape material. It's probably not tobacco that's coating your lungs with tar. It's probably cleaner, but it's still a highly addictive chemical. And what's it nicotine doing? It leads to inflammation, and it constricts the blood vessels in the body, specifically the heart. So it has an chemical irritant, basically, on the cardiovascular system.
So when it says quit tobacco, quit vaping would be...
That's in there.
It would be
cigarettes,
in there.
cigarettes, vaping.
Is it?
All contain nicotine.
I guess if
you'd
actually read the whole thing, that'd be good. Okay.
Yeah, looking at this Life's Essential 8, which is put out by the American Heart Association, there's a lot here, and it can be a little bit overwhelming, but like you said, taking it just one step, like eating the elephant one bite at a time. Don't worry about the whole elephant. Just, I feel like I'm going through this right now, just trying, my husband and I have made a conscious decision to eat better, to cut out sugars. We haven't cut sugars out altogether, but we've decreased our intake in different areas, and we're trying to eat cleaner, better sugar instead of the processed sugars. And but I'm finding where I'm active, I can be active. I have now purchased a gym membership, a 6-month membership, and I still have yet to use it.
I was going to say, I wish I had sold that to you.
I've not been to the gym since the 80s. I'm like, I don't know how to use this equipment. I don't know what to do when I show up there. And so I'm pretty intimidated by it.
Yeah.
And I love your idea of just go to they have a walking track. I need to just go and start with the walking track and get used to it.
Yeah. There should be people to help if you want to invest in a trainer as well. I love the buddy system for exercise, going with a friend or a family member or something like that. Spouse or significant other is a great way to go to the gym. My wife got me back into the gym after many years. She was the one that joined first, and we haven't stopped. I mean, it's just been it's become a nice thing, you know. And and it doesn't have to be for your case. That's great. Gym's very intimidating. But getting healthier is the goal for everybody. And
right.
And then you mentioned the sugar and stuff too. There are nutritionists I know in the community as well that are available. There's probably some online resources as well, but it's I think just educating oneself and then setting that goal and then coming up with that plan. The gyms are I love them, but they're not for everybody. And part of the exercise is actually strength training, or what they call resistance training. So benefit of maintaining muscle mass
Right.
as we age and so forth is very important as well, and mobility and stability and reducing risk of falls when we get really old and things like that. So all that is very important, and there's no easy one thing. It's a lot of different things to add variety, and that helps too, variety with exercise, and keeps it interesting and challenging, I believe,
And finding
as well.
what works for your body. What does it respond to? It may not respond as well to lifting weights, but it responds better to, like you said, the resistance training.
Yep, machines or lightweights or any of that stuff. Yep, and I love it all. I mean, I think it all counts. It's all good for us.
So if Brian's given us the "we gotta go" code,
already?
but
Wow.
yeah, if there's somewhere like you've got the Life's Essential 8, where could someone go online to see that if they wanted to look it up?
Very important question. The internet is the internet. So I generally refer people to American Heart Association, which is where this came from, or the Mayo Clinic has excellent patient-centered information, or something like that. Basically, those two sources have really good information that is consumable for basically anybody. So,
All right.
Well,
Thank you for coming
Dr.
by.
Hahn. Appreciate
Okay.
your time.
thank you.
Stay tuned because we'll talk about keeping your home's roof healthy next on the Kearney Hot Seat.
Kearney Trust Company is your local bank offering personalized financial services with a focus on what matters to you. From checking and savings accounts to home loans and retirement planning, they're here to help you achieve your financial goals. Kearney Trust Company is a partner for success with 2 locations in Kearney at 310 West 92 Highway and 701 Watson Drive in Price Chopper. 816-628-6666 or kearneytrust.com. Kearney Trust Company, banking you can trust, member FDIC.
Platte Clay Electric Cooperative is more than just your energy provider. They're your neighbors, too. For over 85 years, they've been powering homes, businesses, and communities in the Northland with reliable, affordable electricity. As a cooperative, they're owned by you, the members. That means every decision they make is focused on serving your needs, not profits. From maintaining safe and efficient power lines to offering energy-saving tips, they're here to support you every step of the way. Platte Clay Electric Cooperative, empowering communities and energizing life with safe and reliable energy.
The air you breathe inside your home plays a critical role in your overall health and wellness. Harmful contaminants like asbestos, lead, and mold are hidden hazards that can be lurking in your home or office. Since 2013, the indoor air quality experts at EcoSafe Environmental Services have been detecting and eliminating harmful contaminants, improving indoor air quality, and creating safe, healthy living spaces. You can learn more at 816-598-4111 or at ecosafekc.com. You deserve a healthy home. Stay safe with EcoSafe.
Welcome back to Kearney's Hot Seat. Well, we just had a really good snowstorm, and snow and ice can really take a toll on your roof. Here to tell us more about keeping your roof healthy is Shane Goodin from Bull Run Roofing. Welcome to the Kearney Hot Seat, Shane.
Thank you, Stacy.
So I have my first question, I know, is the question everybody wants to know, because this is the question intern Lauren asked me to ask you.
Okay.
How many times have you fallen off of a roof?
0.
Wow. Okay. That's awesome.
Yes.
Any close calls?
So I did not know that you were going to ask that.
Did I steal your question?
No, but now I have to tell a story.
Oh, no.
Before we get into this. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how you get up there. I came home, this was not a month ago. I came home from a trip and the neighbor said, "Do you realize you have a hole in your roof?" And I'm like, that's not even possible. I mean, a house isn't that old. And I looked up there and on the peak, sure enough, and not even one of the high peaks, this is a mid-level peak, there's a hole. And I'm like, the next day it's supposed to rain, snow and all that. And I'm like, I got to get up there and put something in it. And then so someone said, take some trash bags and all that. So I crawled up there. It worked.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, I put trash bags and then covered it with the trash bag. It looked really good. You'd have been proud.
Did you fall off?
No, but holy Moses, that's high. Yeah. I was scared to death. I was like, this is how it ends. I'm going to fall off this roof. And your house may look like the peak angle is like this, but you get up there, it's like that. And and the neighbor was helping me and he's laughing and I'm not laughing, but what is wrong with you people?
Okay, okay, we're going to put this back on track. Okay, a serious question. When people think about roofing, they usually picture shingles, ladders, all the things.
Falling off.
But what do you actually spend most of your day doing as a business owner?
Every time I drive by a roof, I can look at it and tell by, tell how old it is, roughly, by looking at, the streaks in the roof, the colors of the roof and things like that. The biggest thing for me is when I pull up to a house and I'm looking at a roof and I can see things that, most homeowners do not look at their roofs. They just go on with their day and don't really pay attention to it. You can see shingles that are loose, nails that are popping, things like that are, big things that are preventative things that you can do before wintertime. So the biggest things that I do, is visually looking at the roof from the ground is a big key thing.
Interesting.
When you talk about preventative, what can a homeowner do that would help prevent damage or something worse down the line? I assume getting up on the roof is not one of them.
And if you don't want to get on the roof, you can definitely call, a licensed roofing contractor, and they would be glad to, come out. We definitely do that quite often throughout the year, even just inspecting people's roofs. As a homeowner, the biggest thing that you can do is just pay attention to it once in a while. You definitely don't have to have your roof looked at every year. They say, 7 to 10 years, you should have your roof inspected. The biggest thing as a homeowner is just visually looking at it. If you got shingles missing or if you see something that doesn't look normal, call somebody.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, we've had several big storms. I mean, in the past several years, Jim is still reminiscing over one, 7 or 8 years ago. How have you seen homeowners' needs or attitudes towards roofing in general change?
With the storms?
Just because we've had so many, but as Jim was lamenting over, all of the things that come with trying to get a roof replaced, what have you seen change?
I think that insurances are changed, and they have changed over the last couple years quite a bit. Insurance companies are in it to make money, and they've been taking a hit for the last, 4 or 5 years or plus, and your deductibles have gone up. Mm-hmm. They've gone from the little $500, $1,000 deductibles to a percentage rate based, sometimes 1% up to 2%. So
I can vouch for that.
and that goes with if your house, if your house is valued and insured at say $500,000, your deductible on 1% is going to be $5,000.
The roofs are obviously, they've changed over the years.
Yes.
The materials, the way they're built. And something that I didn't know, and I hope this is true, I wasn't lied to, but there's now the durability, like certain shingles are built for different levels of there's real thin, like if it rains, it's probably going to damage your, if you live in Phoenix, I guess you're good there. But then there's some that are really built for the heavier hailstorm. Is there different, what are the different?
Or heat.
Or heat. What are the different types of roofs that you can do, and are they built different for different parts of the country?
In a basis, there's different colors and things like that are really for different parts of the country that are more prevalent, but are they built differently? Not really for different parts of the country. As in impact resistant, they are built differently for that. There is your base grade, and then there's a class 3 impact resistant shingle, and then they go up to like a class 4 impact resistant shingle, and those are just, you know, a little bit thicker, like you're talking, a little bit thicker shingle, more granulars, more impact resistant.
So for around here, is there anything you'd recommend, like do the class 3, class 4?
Yes. I would recommend doing, you know, a class 3, class 4 architectural shingle for sure around here.
I don't know where to go with that.
And are shakes completely out?
I don't really deal with a lot of shake roofs. We don't really see them around here a whole lot. If they are, they're usually covered up, covered up by metal. And yeah, wood shake roofs take a lot more maintenance and upkeep. So.
And aren't they, I think they're banned in most,
don't
most places, because they don't want to catch on fire.
And that could be with certain areas for, you know, insurance purposes and stuff like that. I mean, that's
I'd
something.
be worried that lightning comes anywhere near you and there goes your house if you have one of those.
Running a roofing company has got to be tough work. What keeps you motivated, especially during those extremely hot days?
It's the customers and people in our community. Trying to provide a quality service and workmanship and being honest with integrity is why I do it. Of course, there's always money, you know, that you like making money, but I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy talking to different people. There's so many people that I've met and talked to, and it's been a great thing.
So we talked a little bit before we came on, we talked about it seems like the new thing is the gutter guard. Yeah. Everybody has different gutter guards, and there's some I've seen that I don't think they stop anything, not even like tree branches, and then there's others that stop everything, including water. What is the what should someone look for so they don't get sucked into a gutter guard that really is just a waste of money?
To be honest, we offer 3 levels of gutter guards, and it's all based on the trees and the things that are around your house and what kind of, you know, leaves are going to be dropping, if it's those little helicopters, if it's maple trees, things like that. That's where, you know, you really have to hopefully have a contractor that's educated on that and going to be honest with you and give you the, you know, proper advice, because you could start out and just have, you know, no pine needles and regular, you know, trees, no maples or whirlybirds around your house, and you can go with the, you know, our base model gutter guard. But then you start getting into pine needles that has, you know, larger holes, and those pine needles will stick, those helicopters will stick, and it won't do its job properly.
Is there we don't have this much, but we had it several years ago, the ice dam.
Yeah.
Is there any way to, well, first of all, for those who don't, you know what an ice dam is?
I can guess.
I've suffered through one. That was many years ago. It was before Brian was born, but I digress. Explain what an ice dam is, and then is there any way to prevent it? Really?
Yes. So an ice dam is essentially water or snow that's on your roof, and it's thawing out and freezing. So how it thaws out is the heat escapes your house going through your attic and through your roof. And then when it gets down to your eaves, a colder area of your roof will freeze back up. There's a few different ways to prevent it. One is making sure your gutters are cleaned out properly before, you know, the winter times come. You know, fall time, clean your gutters out before winter, making sure that stuff that does thaw out can easily go down in your gutters and escape away from your house. The next thing is just making sure that if your roof, if you're having a new roof put on, making sure they put an ice and water shield on the eave part of your roof. So basically whenever that does do freeze and thaw and stop on your eaves, it has an extra layer of protection to prevent water damage from intruding into your house.
I know you get asked this a lot, so
Yes.
let's just get it out there. Why Bull Run? What does the name mean?
Bull Run comes from basically our family values of our ranching and farm life that we have. It sticks. I mean, if you see it, you recognize it. So I leave that to my beautiful wife. She came up with the name and brainstormed, and most people don't want to just see pictures of roofs and things about roofs, and they want to know your story, and it's our backstory. We have a farm with cattle, and we really enjoy that, and it just kind of brings it all together.
I like that.
So before we go, because Brian's waving at us again, he does that a lot.
He's rude.
Tell us Bull Run Roofing, because if you don't know, Bull Run Roofing was a big sponsor of the Bulldog football team. And Bull Run Roofing is defense for your home. I do remember that in the script. But for the people at home, give us Bull Run's phone number and website.
Phone number is 816-205-0456, and it's bullrunroofingllc.com.
All right, very good.
Excellent.
So now I'm going to do my little plug. It is very important, I'm going to tell you this as a matter of fact, to make sure if you have a roof problem, get someone like these guys who knows what they're talking about. Please do not have some guy come by your house knocking on your door that you're never going to see, because if your roof gets screwed up and you never see the person again, that isn't going to help you. So make sure you pick a reputable place. And I'm assuming you guys don't go door to door.
No, we do not.
If
We do
someone
not.
comes to your door, I've seen so many people fall for that. Don't go doing a roof with somebody who just randomly comes down. I've had people come to my door and tell me how bad my roof is. Thank you. Even after I had a new one.
And
I'm like, dude, I just had it replaced. Anyway, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Bull Run Roofing is defense for your home. I just had to throw that in there. Stay with us. Final thoughts are coming up next.
Explore a place to visit. Explore knowledge. Explore fun. Explore relaxation. Explore adventure. Explore a hometown. Explore Kearney, Missouri.
And welcome back to Kearney's Hot Seat. It is time for our final thoughts. And Stacy, what do you have?
Well, it's a big weekend. We've got the wine and chocolate tour. We've got the open house at Precision Athletics and Wellness. And then following that, we have the Super Bowl. So I wanted to ask you all, what are your championship picks for the Super Bowl? Jim?
I'm going to put a lot of money down on the fact that the Chiefs will not win.
They will not win
They will
this
not
season,
win.
no, but
do you want to know what I want to happen or what do I think is going to happen? What I'd like to happen, and it hurts me to say this, but I would like to see the Patriots win. Now, before everybody freaks out, it's a different Patriots team. I've always liked Coach Vrabel. I think the way he came through the program is really, really cool. That young quarterback they have, hopefully he's okay. I heard he was a little banged up for a little while. It's not the Brady Patriots that we hated, the Belichick and all that. That's all gone. Whole new group of guys hoping they win. But the reality is Seattle's really good. So
we'll
Seattle's
see.
probably
We'll
going to
see.
win, but we'll
Yeah.
take a look and see what happens.
Brian, do you have a prediction?
I'm going to say Seattle also just
Okay.
because they're not the Patriots. So that's my reasoning.
Well, I am going with the Patriots because I grew up here in Kearney in the 80s, went to school with Chris Hall, whose father is a Patriots legacy, Ron Hall. He spent many years living right here in Kearney, so I'm cheering for Ron Hall and the Patriots.
All right, so we've got that going. Final thoughts for me. You might remember a couple of years ago, this was back when Lynn was on the program, we talked about health food, and we talked about money being involved in the health process. And one of the things I said was, there's this big kick right now on becoming healthy.
There's something about you wanted a healthy Cheeto.
A healthy Cheeto. I'm glad you remembered that.
Oh, geez.
Let's go back and take a look at a clip. This is the clip from that show when we talked about the healthy Cheeto.
Okay.
If we spent as much time on this and we would create a healthy Cheeto, can you imagine
Are you
how
going
much...
to eat the healthy Cheeto?
If you made a Cheeto that was healthy and tasted like a Cheeto,
There
which
you
I
go.
know it can be done, we can do all this stuff. Why can't we have a
Or
healthy
if
Cheeto?
we can make tobacco taste like candy.
Thank you.
Exactly
Right.
right.
What are we waiting for?
It's all follow the money, right? It's all
right.
comes back.
So there's no money in healthy Cheetos? Is that what you're saying?
There probably is.
If they if they banned the
Just
purchase of regular Cheetos.
Right, exactly. There you go. Right,
Well,
that'll be next.
they have those baked Cheetos, but they don't taste as good as
Baked
the...
Lays are good though. I like those.
Brian is so mad right now because we have completely left the reservation or lost it. All right. So the good news is somebody listened to me, finally.
Oh, really?
There is, because there's this big health push going on.
The Maha movement?
There are there are now healthy chip options that taste as good or better
No.
than the previous.
No.
So now I'm not big, because Brian yells at me. If I put something up on the screen that is not a sponsor, then I get yelled at. This is not a sponsor. But so there's these Quest cheese crackers. There we are right there. These things taste better than the original Cheez-Its.
No way.
They are phenomenal. I'll even let you have one here in a minute. It's
okay.
very crunchy. It'll
We'll
go
find out.
all over the microphone. But these things are great. And the health value, you could literally eat 10 of these and
10
not...
grams of protein? Is that what that says?
Look at all the other stuff on the back. They also have...
5 grams net carbs, real cheese.
See? Look at this. Cheddar and sour cream. Where are we at? Back over here. Cheddar and sour cream. These things are great. What I tell you,
Where's
what
the
I say in
Cheetos?
that last package, they don't have Cheetos yet, but that I found,
I thought
they
that was
have
the point of this.
buffalo chips. Look at
Wow.
that. These things, they have it all. So what I'm saying is, if you remember back then, what did I say? If we put our mind to it, we could come up with things that are healthy and taste just as good. And we've done it. How about that, America?
And you get your protein too.
You get your protein, you don't have sugar, you don't have carbs, you have all that stuff. It's happening.
Well, there's 4 net carbs in it.
4? The other stuff has like 30 per
Egg
bag.
whites,
You
bone broth.
could literally probably have 10 of those bags. I'm not advocating that, so don't go out and do it. You
Okay.
could have 10 of those bags and not equal 1 of the other traditional.
I'm proud of you, Jim.
Thank you. I'm here to help. That is all the time we have for you. If you want to know where to get these fine products, get a hold of Brian. Do not contact me. But we appreciate you watching. Good luck to your bets in the Super Bowl. Have a good February, and we'll see you next month on Kearney's Hot Seat.